And now we come to a story, because coming up is an anniversary which few of you will have overlooked, I think, but it's the anniversary of a special record. And this is how it goes. They were never what you would call close friends, but the circumstances of life had drawn them together on many occasions, starting on the school playground. Enid had always been the more dominant personality, and this was expressed in the nasty, spiteful way that she tugged at the pink ribbons on Maud's plaits and cruelly mocked her poor posh voice, particularly her ability to sound H's, as in Holly hopes Harry has a happy holiday. Sometimes Maud cried and the other children pointed at her and called her horrid names, but she claimed her revenge in the school's regular activities. Many badges for effort and achievement decorated her pale blue blouse, though they were almost lost beneath the dazzle from her dental braces. Never a brilliant pupil, Maud was nonetheless diligent about both her classwork and her homework, always recalling her mother's inspiring motto, "Practice makes perfect." Her adherence to this sentiment was also evident on the hockey field, where she was a competent, if unexciting, central defender whose name would always feature near the end of the team list on the school notice board. By contrast, Enid's chest was never decorated with badges, though she was one of the first girls to wear a bra. She also demonstrated an early interest in cigarettes, Coca-Cola, perfume and lipstick. It was even said that boys would pay her sixpence to see her stockings and suspenders, while Maud stuck to her trusty ankle socks and was therefore never so rewarded. Life after their school days followed the same pattern. Maud married a young man who had been a senior colleague in the bank, and they had 3 sensible children together. Enid, by contrast, ignored the council of colleagues and friends in the pub and ran off with a Persian magician from a circus who gave her a baby boy and then vanished in a puff of smoke. Rather uncharacteristically, Maud told this story with considerable gusto in the cafe of the old department store where the old girls met, leaving just the right pause before delivering the punchline. Oh, how everyone laughed, she told her husband at their dinner, celebrating his elevation onto the golf club subscriptions committee. As Mother used to say, practice makes perfect. But the most important difference between the two had come in their early 20s, when the nation was gripped by the first wave of rock and roll. Enid was an Elvis fan. Maud favoured Cliff. These memories roared back a couple of weeks ago when 2 black cabs pulled up outside the gates to the Falling Leaves residential home for the retired. From one emerged Maud, her spry step a testament to all those February afternoons on the hockey field. From the other hobbled the more gnarled Enid, who was perhaps wearing a little too much makeup. As a cloud passed under the sky, they looked at each other, open-mouthed with incredulity. It was infant school all over again. Their greetings, it has to be said, were less than warm, but together they crunched up the gravel drive to the creeper-coated red-bricked Victorian building, each carrying a suitcase in one hand and a carrier bag in the other. The smiling matron opened the double doors to the lounge, where at once Maud and Enid saw the old gramophone. They jostled towards it, elbows jutting out. Digging in her bag, Enid triumphantly plucked her favourite Elvis record, Heartbreak Hotel, which seemed appropriate enough. From her bag, Maud pulled Cliff's Living Doll, which seemed less appropriate. "Me first!" screamed Enid. "No, me!" cried Maud, as they struggled to put their respective choices on the turntable. Within seconds, years of pent-up hate exploded over that gramophone. The 2 old rivals started kicking each other's ankles as a prelude to some serious hair-pulling. Well, this is just a little fable, really. As we approach September's 50th anniversary of Cliff's Move It being released, some said it was the first true British rock and roll record carrying the extraordinarily prophetic lines. They say it, the music, is gonna die, but honey, please let's face it. Well, we just don't know what's gonna replace it. From then on, it seemed that all the young people had split into 2 camps, those who supported Elvis Presley and those devoted to Cliff Richard, though their surnames were never used. To some extent, among the real fans, those passions had survived, but there was a 3rd camp to which I have remained a loyal member. I am referring, of course, And you know what's coming, everyone, don't you? I am referring, of course, to the young men and women who admired Lonnie Donegan, King of Skiffle. So many years hence, I'll say that again, so many years hence, if you enter Falling Leaves and hear the Rock Island line, you'll know that I got there first. And here endeth the lesson.